Everyone, and welcome back. I know that I promised I was going to begin my Modern to Modest series today, but unfortunately the script isn't quite ready yet. We're getting close, but we're not there yet. So instead I'm going to give you another tutorial today, and what I am going to do is this look that I have on today. And this is actually inspired by nabiilaBee's signature look, and she is a hijabi who has a beautiful hijab that she wears. Of course, hers is full coverage, but it's got these lovely layers in it, these folds, and all of this volume, and it's just absolutely beautiful, and I loved it. So I started fiddling with it until I found one that I was more comfortable wearing, which is a very similar design, except that it doesn't have the piece that goes in front of the neck. So it's more like a giant glorified bandana in the way that it falls. But I really love this one, and you should check out nabiilaBee's videos because she has some really wonderful stuff. And also check out dinatokio's because we're going to mention her, and she has the video to show how to do the volumizer that gives you all of this big lift. So I hope that you enjoy, and do come back next week when I will have that Modern to Modest launched and ready to go. Okay, so for this style, we're going to be using a pashmina, and I have selected one that I know is a little dark for what I'm wearing, but I'm hoping that it's going to do a better job of displaying the folds in this look than the one that I was wearing earlier. So, one pashmina. Oh, by the way, it makes a difference with this scarf how wide your pashmina is. So the biggest, widest pashmina that you can find is going to be the best because it works with shorter ones, but it doesn't come out as absolutely gorgeous, and you can't get as many folds in the narrower it is. So this one is not so much about the length as it is about how wide it is. So try to get a nice big wide pashmina, or you can probably do it with a square scarf. I haven't tried it yet, but I imagine you can as long as it's really, really big. This one is probably about, I want to say 30 inches across, maybe 28, 30 inches across. Okay, you're also going to need an underscarf. This is where the underscarf is not optional because you're going to need a substrate for your pins. And for the first time in one of my videos, we're going to be using a volumizing scrunchie. And this is made out of a shower loofah, and dinatokio can show you how to make these in one of her videos. And this is going to give us that nice big bump and all the lovely drape behind your head. So to start, we're just going to take our volumizing scrunchie, and I have a ponytail up at the top of my head, and we're going to just put that right over our ponytail. Okay, and then pull your underscarf all the way around your edges, and I'm taking my hands, and you can see my fingers right there, okay, and stuffing that loofah in all the way around the edges from ear to ear, and this is going to help you get a nice smooth transition over your volume so it doesn't just look like you've got a giant lump in the back of your scarf. Okay, back down around the ears there. Alright, and there you can see how it sticks out the bottom, but it's all stuffed in along the top there, and you get all this big volume. Looks a little silly right now, but it's going to look fantastic once we get this scarf on. Okay, and then we're going to take our scarf, and I'm even on either side. And first thing you want to do is line up. I do not like to show my underscarf with this because we have a lot going on, so we really don't want to do too much of that. So we're just going to line it up, give it a little tiny fold just to hide that raw edge. Okay, and then we're going to pin to the underscarf. Now these pins are only going to be in temporarily. They're just to hold it in place, so we're going to take these out. Okay, now what I like to do is pull up and back. You can see on top of my head like this. And I'm just going to keep pulling it up right until you can see in back. Okay, so that it's right like that. And that's just going to make this really easy to make our folds because I'm going to be dragging fabric over my head. Actually, that's kind of pretty right there, isn't it? I should figure out something to do with that. Okay, anyway, back to the tutorial. Now what we're going to do is make our folds So gather a little bit and fold. And you can see they're about that second knuckle. They're about a second knuckle deep. 2. If you need to kind of pull, and then there's 3. Not much to look at yet, but they will be in a minute. And kind of try to rake those folds down. They don't have to be perfect all the way down, but it's going to help if you have a little uniformity. Okay, now this last fold, I am going to fold it over, but it is probably going to end up getting pulled out when we start wrapping, so don't worry too much about that last one. Do put it in there. But, okay, so now we have our 1, 2, 3, 4 folds right on top, nice and pretty. And we're going to try to get all the dimples out and pull that tight. Okay, and switch over in the back. Now I'm going to go through and adjust my edge came out. Okay, now we can take these guys out. Don't need those anymore. And just kind of pull and adjust. Get those nice and smooth and beautiful. Okay, and like I just did, sometimes pulling on top doesn't do the trick. Sometimes you got to put your thumb underneath and push back so that you get that smoothness. So it's a little give and take in both directions. Okay, so now look at this gorgeous layers of lines. So pretty. Okay, now we're going to take our other sides. And this is important. Make sure that you've got the inside edge, the edge that's next to your neck. And when you give it a tug, you'll feel the tension coming up along this part of your head. The other one is you're gonna feel the tension somewhere in the back of your ponytail. So you really want this side, close to your chin, okay? And take that, open it all the way up. Okay, and we are going to, remember that's your inside edge. I'm going to bring it all the way back behind all of these folds and pull it over. And then kind of pluck and pull, and you want it to come down in the back. And then you take your first pin and just pin that edge down and try to make sure you get the pin all the way into your underscarf so it holds onto the whole thing. And then on the other side, open it up. One against the back of your neck, that's the one you want. And again, up and over the very back. Okay. And this one I like to bring down. Make sure you're there. Okay. And then take a pin. Pin it in place, getting all the way through to your underscarf and back up. Okay, now what you've got, so it's very pretty, just like this, and because it's so very long, especially with this scarf, some of the scarves I do, they come out quite a bit shorter, but this one comes out very long. I like to bring it just around the front, and you can see it's very kind of square, comes over your shoulder. I just about halfway, and then pull it over so that what I end up with is this nice, beautiful hijab-like kind of drape on the back that ends right between my shoulder blades. And then this lovely little side tail that comes right up. And it's just so pretty. It's almost, it has all of the folds and drapes and volume and beautifulness of the hijab without having the underpiece, which I'm just a little bit uncomfortable wearing because I'm not Muslim, so I feel like I'm in a different culture's shoes, which is not bad, but for every day going to work, people tend to look at me like I've done something a little strange. So this one has all of the perks, and it's really very, very pretty, complete coverage. And I'm going to show you that side again, hopefully not going out of frame. And you see you've got that big, beautiful profile, lots and lots of volume, and lots of veil. It's very pretty, and this one is so much fun to wear. I really, really am loving this one. I've worn it just about every single day this week, and you can put pins in, you can put all sorts of pretty things in. I have taken a finger ring and put in a finger ring right there so that it holds on, and it's been very pretty, very kind of almost gypsy. I feel like very kind of, movie gypsy. It's fun. It's fun for me. I like it. So there you go.